Welcome to Bellevue, the home of Wakefield Trinity, for today's quarter-final of the Silk Cut Challenge Cup 1990. The game Wakefield Trinity against Wigan. Wakefield stand in the way of Wigan getting to Wembley for the third successive season. And it was back in 1963 that Wakefield themselves last won the cup, and that was against Wigan. Today's game can be a very exciting encounter. Conditions ideal except for a very strong blustery wind. One or two changes in the Wigan side then, with Ian Lucas picking up that 8-match suspension. It means Andy Platt steps into the number 10 spot, but that makes room for Ellery Handley to come from centre to loose forward, and Andy Goodway steps into the second row with Ian Gildart on the substitute bench at 15. The Wakefield side, well, James Luluai, the former Hull player, he's at full-back, and Phil Fox, former Leigh player, he's on the left wing. Lots of pace there. Tracy Lazenby and Mark Conway, the two half-backs, they'll be the organisers. And there at loose forward, perhaps the big motivator in this Wakefield side, Ray Price, the former Parramatta and Australian loose forward. David Campbell, today's referee, just waiting to see if his touches are ready. The whistle goes, the start of this quarter-final game. Wakefield playing with what is a very strong wind behind them. Jedburn very quickly in the tackle. There was an overlap on this left-hand side. Luluai had spotted it, but Jedburn came in and made a good tackle and is there working at acting halfback. Wakefield just inside there. 22, Keith Rain, the former Leeds player and Wakefield captain, takes the drive close in. Billy Conway, acting halfback, and John Monder, the coach of Shaw's, has told Wigan to be aware of the darting probes that Conway can make. That's a tremendous boot from Mark Conway, bouncing in a touch. Steve Hampson lets it roll in, but that's the sort of wind we've got here. Conway with a leisurely left boot has put that ball 70 yards downfield. It's bounced into touch, so it's going to be a scrum on the 10. Andy Gregory to walk round and feed the scrummage. David Campbell having a word with the two front rows. It looks fairly steady. Shelford's playing at 8. Jedburn comes in from the right wing, takes the ball off the scrum half. Price very quickly out of the pack, makes the tackle. Ellery Handley back at loose forward since that injury, and in fact that's a referee had decided that's a penalty for offside, so that's a chance for Wigan to clear away from their own 22. Since Ellery Handley's injury and his consequent recovery, he's been playing in the centre. So now a chance to go back to perhaps what is his true position at the moment. Platt takes the drive, one out. Good aggressive run from the number 10 whenever he's played in the front row, either for Great Britain or for Wigan. He's put on a sterling effort, a lot of hard work. Dennis Betts playing the ball, Dermot finding Edwards. Handley on his favourite outside, tries to get past Lazenby. But Tracy Lazenby, former Hull Kingston Rovers loose forward, makes the good tackle. Shelford drifts across. But Andy Mason, former rugby union player from Yorkshire, makes the tackle. Edwards the kick. That's going to bounce upfield. That's a good kick from Sean Edwards. Bouncing in a touch. So from 125 to the other, Wigan have driven themselves forward, and that's Sean Edwards' kick, full of control, keeping it low into the wind. Just bouncing over that touchline. Again, David Campbell keeping those front rows apart. Now they're together. The ball fed, but not to the referee's satisfaction. David Campbell from Widnes, one of the top referees in the game at the moment. Conway fielding Lazenby. Lazenby, who's as a youngster was one of the most promising loose forwards, has settled in at Wakefield now as a number 6. He's been playing there most of the season. Good distributor, good pair of hands. Very strong in the tackle. Well, that's a good strong run from Thompson. John Thompson, the number 10. Back to Conway again with that left boot. Hampson's in position. And Hampson takes well. Steve Hampson dummies and drifts past Mason, runs into Fox, keeps possession as Keith Rain finishes the tackle off. To Byrne, running across field, trying to straighten up into the gap, but Wakefield will be well organised. David Topless, himself a former Wakefield player, well organised. Iro's first touch of the ball. The strength of Kevin Iro, drifting past tackle after tackle. And eventually, it's Keith Rain who brings him down. Well, that's the sort of power that Wakefield will have to contend with. And there's another one with his first touch of the ball. Andrew Goodway. And a quick play of the ball. Gregory in. Again, the low kick upfield, and Wigan back, pushing Wakefield into their own 22. We have to go as far back as 1963 for Wakefield's last triumph at Wembley. But on the way to this quarter-final tie, they beat Swinton after a draw in the first round and won easily in the replay, and then they beat Sheffield Eagles. That was a fine win for them. They've been tied down inside their own 22. Good, strong Wigan defence. Move it quickly, both sides. Very aggressive from the play of the ball. That's a good slip to Price. Ray Price, his first touch of the ball, struggling to get to his feet. Little dart from Billy Conway. He's got pace, and he's kicked ahead, perhaps rather too early. Steve Hampson's got back. Evades the tackle of Eden, and now it's Hampson driving away. With Conway and finally Andrew Wilson making the tackle. Well, that's the sort of pace that this hooker's got, and very, very dangerous for Matty halfback. Martin Durbett showing that he's also equal to the task as a hooker, driving away from Matty halfback. Gregory with the inside ball and the move wide. Hanley again, trying to get past later. Hand on to Lydon. Lydon's in the clear. Steps inside. Edwards is there. That's a great ball to Sean Edwards. Conway against Edwards. Edwards is going to win the race. Sean Edwards goes over for Wigan's first try. The delight on Edwards' face. But it all came about from that beautiful break from Ellery Hanley inside his own 22. And then the hand on to Joe Lydon. Lydon sidestepping inside, straightened up, drew Luluai perfectly. Edwards was in support as ever, and the race was between Sean Edwards and Mark Conway, and Edwards won that. Wigan leading by 4 points to 0. Joe Lydon, a fairly straightforward conversion attempt, 2 points. Wigan 6-0 in the lead. Well, the wind's so strong that Conway's having to have the ball held by Lazenby. He's kicked out one straight to his opposite number, Andy Gregory, and Andy Gregory drifting the ball across to Goodway. Goodway bursting through. Good cover tackle from Ray Price. Hanley revelling in the role at loose forward. He's almost got a free rein when he plays there. That's a penalty to Wakefield, and referee David Campbell indicated that Ellery Hanley was hanging on to the Wakefield shirt, so there's simple chance for 2 points back here for Mark Conway. Hanley wanted to get to his feet, but apparently holding on to a Wakefield player. Mark Conway then, just inside the Wigan 22. A fairly simple kick, that's 18 metres out, left-footed, kicks it between the posts. Wakefield got 2 points back at 6-2. Lydon kicks low into the Wakefield 22. That's rolled and it's gone dead. What an amazing kick from Joe Lydon. And it's been touched by the Wakefield right wing Andrew Wilson. So that's going to be a scrum down, just perhaps 6 or 7 metres from the Wakefield line. 10 metres in, and it's a Wigan feed. Chance to set up a move then from behind this scrum. Gregory feeds. That's a good control ball. Edwards to Iro. Iro straightening up, trying to drift past, and goes past Luluai as if he wasn't there. Oh, the big centre, just 2 metres short of the line. Edwards switches it across left. This was a planned move. There's an overlap on that side. Hampson takes it well, but Wakefield have managed to counteract it. Certainly Wigan had put many numbers on that left-hand side. The overlap was there. Shelford takes the drive, pushes Keith Rain off. Good strong run from the number 8, and a good play the ball. Now the run around between the halfbacks. The drift a good way in the gap. Good ways there. Great tackle from Ray Price. Good cover from the loose forward. Chance for Wigan. Edwards to Hanley. Hanley takes the ball, but David Campbell says that it's gone forward. So that desperate tackle from Ray Price almost certainly stopped the try as Goodway burst through on that set move. So Wakefield having a lot to contend with here in this opening quarter of an hour. That's slipped out the back of the scrum. Fox picks it up. And Andy Gregory very quickly away from the scrum makes the tackle. Ray Price. Tackle by the Great Britain and Wigan scrum half. Rain running into Hanley. And soon it'll be the Conway kick. 1 or 2 drives. Andy Kelly, we're not seeing much of the big second row forward. He was at Wembley with Hull Kingston Rovers. Conway linking wide. Lazenby, that's a speculative ball. And Wilson tries to get back Preston, but Preston's got enough pace to catch him. Lazenby in position with that left boot. Straight to Hampson, another fine catch on the fullback. Looks for the gap. He's going to drift past Price and puts it inside to Byrne. Byrne straightens up. But John Thompson just manages to get a hand on him. Gregory one out, looking for the overlap on that side. Again, Andy Goodway hitting the gap. He's got such pace and strength. Dennis Betts linking well. But Conway in the way as Dennis Betts tried to find Kevin Iro. So Luluai driving away, and Wigan again pushing Wakefield back, but there's a gap there as Price hits it up. That's a great ball to Mason, and Mason can run. It's Mason against Hampson, trying to go outside him. Oh, great run. Eventually Byrne had got back there. That was a superb run from Andy Mason. And Fox was outside him, so Wakefield in the driving seat, moving it wide. There's Luluai in the gap. Good tackle from Sean Edwards. The game certainly hotting up. Wigan defending desperately inside their own 22. Rain gets to Conway. Conway steps inside Hanley. The ball's gone down, and the referee blows his whistle. So a bit of respite there for Wigan, but that certainly was an inspiring piece of play as Wakefield moved it wide just inside their own 22. The Price break and the link with Mason almost creating the try. Edwards. It's Hampson, in fact, and Hampson pushes off Luluai. But Price again, the great defensive player that he is, makes the tackle, and again working at acting halfback. Can the 37-year-old put in 80 minutes of full commitment? Well, certainly Shelford can't at that stage. He's lost the ball. Lazenby sidestepping his way through. Wakefield again on the attack. But Wigan need to defend. Hanley moves up quickly, but Kelly's got past him. Rain with the run around. Conway, a very elusive hooker. Cousin Mark Conway trying to get Luluai in the clear, switches inside to Lazenby. There's a big gap there. Oh, that's good cover from Martin Dermott. The gap was certainly there. That's a little kick through from Conway. It's bounced back. But offside, and the referee was allowing advantage, but it's going to be a kick for Wakefield. And a chance for another 2 points for Mark Conway to bring the scores even closer. The crowd in hushed anticipation as Conway lines his kick up. Not a difficult kick, but the wind is strong, it's gusty, but that's good. That's another 2 points. 6-4 the score. We've had quarter of an hour's play. Lydon kicks off once more. And again, that ball's gone into touch. So Joe Lydon's kicking into the wind is causing all sorts of problems for Wakefield Trinity. They're back inside their own 22 again, but this time it's a Wakefield feed at the scrum. As Conway feeds and wins the ball well. David Campbell has spotted an offside decision. And it's Wigan who are offside, so it's Wakefield who are going to have the penalty. And this win really very, very breezy indeed. Conway with the left boot, using that spiral kick, puts it in a touch on the halfway line almost. Billy Conway, the drive by John Thompson, the number 10. That's one set move. Here's the second drive. Ray Price on the dummy. And it's Keith Rain hitting its second one out. Conway, good play of the ball and then linking. Switch inside to Andy Kelly. Shelford wraps him up, but Kelly gets the ball away. So Wakefield really testing this Wigan defence. Gary Price trying to get Lazenby away. Lazenby switching back inside to Thompson. So Wakefield keeping it alive. That's a good ball onto Price. Price took that ball bursting through and keeps it alive to Luluai. A real test here as Wakefield switch it left then right and keep the ball alive in the tackle. Conway trying to get the big centre Philip Eden away. Conway has to resort to the kick. That's high. Price is offside. Hampson takes it quite easily. Price misses the tackle for once. Hampson gets out of it. That's a great take from the fullback. There's Iro, burst into Kevin Iro, sidestepping. Kelly gets back. Hanley's in support, but Hanley's pass inside, picked up by Billy Conway. Perhaps just slightly too much adventure there. This is certainly a game for the fans. Lots of open rugby, one or two mistakes, but certainly a real appetizer for both sets of fans. Luluai coming into the line, sidestepping and shoving away from Andy Gregley. Good play from the two Conways. Mark linking with Billy there. Mason comes in and out in halfback. Conway tries to get past Shelford. That's a great ball to Eden. Fox is outside him. Inside to Fox. Fox has got pace. Good cover once again from Wigan. Lydon making the tackle. As Wakefield move it. Conway pushes the ball through. That's great pick up there from Dennis Betts. Marty Dermott drives it away. Wigan have been stretched both sides, left and right. It's the ability of Wakefield to keep this ball alive that's a little bit disconcerting for Wigan at the moment. It's a good drive from Andy Platt. The game has been so fast, we've hardly seen any tight play as Edwards switches from left to right across to play the ball. On the last tackle now. Gregory in position with the kick. That's low, but that's an easy one for James Luluai, which he almost made a mess of. Ray Price back supporting, gets out of Dennis Best's high tackle, recovers well and tackles him low this time. Ball lost in the tackle, referee didn't see it, so it's play on. Touch judge didn't either. Certainly the ball was lost by Ray Price in the tackle. He tried to get it quickly. Conway finding big Andy Kelly. Not running with any real pace. Kelly used to run very wide out at Hulkingston Rovers and hit those gaps. Lazenby, good footballer, onto Mason. But Fox and Mason not quite linking on this left-hand side. The ball's gone astray. It's gone into touch. That's going to be a scrum. It's going to be a Wigan feed, just 10 metres outside their own 22-metre line. Wakefield have got the advantage of this window course in the first half. A set move with Hampson as he pushes Arrow inside, and Arrow steps out of even Ray Price's tackle. Goodness me, this big strong centre's having a field day today. Every time he's had the ball, he's burst through tackles. Good tackle there from Gary Price on Andy Goodway, the two number 12s in action. Gregory calls for the switch. Hanley on the burst. Can't quite find the support, but keeps possession. That's important. This time Gregory loses it. Kelly comes in to make sure. Like David and Goliath there, but Andy just really disappointed, I think, that he dropped the ball. We're a quarter of the way through the game. The scrum down. It's going to be a Wakefield feed. David Campbell asking for the scrum to come in a few more metres. That's fair that it's come out. Greg, you're not happy about it. I think that's going to be a penalty for throwing the ball down. So David Campbell very strict on that. There's the interpretation. The penalty for throwing the ball down is discussed. A chance for Conway to find touch on this side, and from the resultant tap, he has found touch. It's on the 22. There's the tap. There's the drive from John Thompson. Drifting across. He eludes a couple of tackles there as he drifted across field. Wakefield have opened it up. They've got play on left or right. Rain hits it close to the play of the ball. There's too many Wigan defenders there. But a chance now to set up a move either side of the scrum. The run around and the dummy run in front of fact. And there's Kelly in the gap. Oh, that's a try for Andy Kelly. That's open Wigan up. And Kelly has scored under the post. It was a dummy run around which Conway drifted across. The ball inside to Andy Kelly, and the big second row forward has strode over under the post, and that's put Wakefield in the lead. A fairly straightforward conversion attempt by Mark Conway to put another 2 points on. It's over. Wakefield leading 10 points to 6. There's a 4-point margin. Again, Lydon with the kick. This time Wakefield make it secure as Kelly drifts across. Edwards goes low. The big man is difficult to bring down though. Philip Eden, big powerful centre, driving the ball over the 22-metre line. Conway trying to get away, but the Wigan defence at the play of the ball covering all situations, left and right. Conway decides to kick. Hampson's back in position, and he collects it cleanly off the boot. Side steps through Conway. Great run from the fullback. Second line of defence comes from Keith Rain. Beautiful break as Keith Rain holds on to Steve Hampson. Hampson trying desperate to get to his feet quickly. Ray Price has upended the big number 8, Adrian Shelford. That's took the wind out of his sails. He looks quite badly hurt as Keith Mills rushing onto the field. But Ray Price really upended the big number 8. It could well be just winded, or let's hope it's nothing too serious. Adrian Shelford's waits like American football there to play the ball. And that's an offside decision. The Wakefield line moving up within 5 metres. Moving up too quickly, and David Campbell spotted the infringement. He's telling the Wakefield people to keep back. Lydon finds touch inside Wakefield's 22. A chance for a set move from Wigan. The drive 2 out from Adrian Shelford. Looking for support, not quite there. Now Platt with the run around. Edwards sees the gap. That's the dummy run around, almost. Runner coming on the outside. Gregory this time. Inside ball to Andy Goodway. Defence good for Wakefield's part there, close to the play of the ball. Still the short side being used, still the run around. This time it's Iro, bounced off one tackle. Too many Wakefield defenders there for the big man this time, as he gets lifted off the ground. Now the chance, as Edwards links with Gregory. Gregory trying to find the runners, has to load it off inside. Betts powers through. Dermot waiting at acting halfback. Gregory the little chip through, that's a good ball, but he's picked up at the back by Luluai. He's driven over his own line. That's going to be a drop out under the post for Wakefield, but the main thing as far as they're concerned, they withstood the pressure that Wigan put on from that penalty. Good defence from them. It's going to be the left foot of Mark Conway who pushed the ball downfield. Hanley's there, he takes it well. It's Ellery Hanley who sets off attacking, sidesteps off the right foot, almost bursts through, runs into Ray Price, and it's Price who makes the tackle and stays on top of the loose forward. Platt coming round from the play the ball, and that's a good drive as he took that ball off Edwards' shoulder. Edwards again switches the direction, the big man in space, Adrian Shelford running, trying to offload. Edwards takes it well with one hand. Wigan building up the pressure, just 15 metres short of this Wakefield line. Dermot goes on his own, the dummy. Well, that's not good enough. Gregory calls it wide, the dummy, and then the second dummy to Hanley. And Gregory steps inside. Gregory's going. Can he get the ball away? He does to Kevin Arrow. Kevin Arrow scores. That's a walk-in for him. And Wigan have levelled the scores. It was the double dummy inside by Andy Gregory, and then the little side step inside, and the player had so much strength and so much time, and they're supporting Kevin Arrow. The gap was there, and Kevin Arrow strides over for the second try. Biden lines it up, kicks it well. It's gone over. That drifted well to the left, but it went through the post like a rocket. Wigan regained the lead at 12 points to 10. Lazenby holding the ball once more for Conway. That's a difficult kick. And bounces up in the air and bounces too high for Preston. That was a goalkeeping type save. It's pushed it over the bar, but in rugby league, that's a drop out under the post. It's certainly a very difficult kick from Mark Conway to deal with. As Preston reached up, the ball shot up in the air. This is a fairly firm surface here at Bellevue, and that's a difficult kick now for Joe Lydon under the post into this very strong wind. And that's only just cleared the 22, but it's rolled further on. Fortunately, Luluai picks it up 35-40 metres away from the Wigan line, centre of the field. Ray Price moving the ball out on the right hand side. Gregory moving up quickly. That's a good strong run from Gary Price. He's looking a powerful second row. In fact, the back three of Wakefield looking quite strong at the moment. Kelly, the try scorer, of course, and Ray Price been involved in lots of very good defensive plays. Conway again setting in motion. This time it's Kelly on the inside ball, but there's a low tackle, and although Kelly still manages to stay on his feet, his forward progress was stopped. Conway sidestepping inside and still gets rid of the ball. Rain's there. Rain trying to run past Ellery Hanley and Joe Lydon. No space. Last tackle, Conway with the kick. That's high. That's drifting. Hampson's coming for it. Hampson takes it. It's been knocked forward. It has gone forward, says David Campbell. But who's actually done the knocking on, we shall have to wait and see. In fact, it's a Wakefield feed. So once more, Wakefield putting pressure on this Wigan defence. Conway feeds. The wide ball as Lazenby switches across. Pushes off Gregory's tackle. Good way to come out of the scrum quickly. Price waits eagerly. The ball's been kicked through. Price picks it up. The loose forward drives forward. It's back to one though, so another 5 tackles from this point as Price kicks through. Has that gone dead? It has indeed. Price, I think, arguing that he was obstructed, but it's going to be a tap on the 22, and Shelford takes the drive. Iro sidesteps inside, then outside. Preston's in space, comes back inside. Andrew Wilson had him covered there, but it's Wigan in possession, building up play towards the halfway line. Edwards linking with his half-back partner Gregory. Gregory sidestepping and linking again, back to Edwards. So the two international half-backs playing some lovely football out there. Dermot dummying and going, accelerating. But that's been knocked on, it's gone forward. That was a great burst from the hooker. Edwards just couldn't quite hang on. There's going to be a substitution on the Wakefield side. Chris Perry, the young Australian, is coming onto the field for James Luluai. And Perry had been playing at fullback for Wakefield, so that's not too much of a positional change for them. It's Conway links with Wilson. Wilson, he looks big and strong, but not strong enough to get through Ellery Hanley. As Hanley breaks well from the scrum. Price drifting away, using that short side, runs into Andy Goodway. Ellery Hanley covering as ever. Rain, good tackle from Martin Dermott, coming in low and stopping Keith Rain in his tracks as Shelford finishes off up top. Conway again with the kick. He's going to find it much different in the second half. Hampson has taken another one superbly at the back. Preston has come in field and Hampson straightens up. Well, Wakefield have moved up quickly. Preston drifting away and drifting away again. Can he find some space? Almost gets past Lazenby. And you can't give this man 1 inch. Offside again, a little bit lazy there on Wakefield's part. David Campbell has seen them, tells them they're not back 5 metres. The penalty to Wigan as we come to the last 5 minutes of this first half. Wigan just in the lead by those 2 points. They'll be thankful of that cushion at half-time if they can maintain it, as Lydon accepts Hampson's offer of holding the ball, kicks the ball in touch. Martin Dermott takes the tap himself, drives straight forward into his opposite number, Billy Conway. Another drive from Shelford. The big man straightens up off that left leg. Good defence from Price and Rain though. Now the set move, it's a wide ball as Lydon links with Edwards. Iro in the gap, sidesteps again, this time good tackle from Philip Eden. Hanley shuffling, shifting, but a big strong Wakefield defensive line there, no gaps. Run around between Edwards and Gregory. One hand from Andy Goodway when two would have done. The ball knocked forward, a chance gone. The referee David Campbell rather concerned there, and the physio, about the state of Ray Price, the Wakefield loose forward, injured in that tackle, Ellery Hanley. And as the officials gather, Price is lying prone on the floor. The stretcher is on the way out. This is a bad sign for Wakefield, a bad sign for one of the world's greatest players. Perhaps at 37, just a little bit over the top, but he's certainly motivated this Wakefield side this season. There's call for assistance from the side as Ray Price is helped onto the stretcher. The St John's men are there, the physios from both clubs are involved, and gently lifting the loose forward onto that stretcher. This is sad news indeed. He's going to get a tremendous ovation as he goes off the field, but it's very sad when any injury happens to a player. For the applause, some sort of consolation, but there won't be any consolation to Wakefield. They've lost one of their prime motivators on the field of play. And it's a scrum down just 15 metres from the line. Lazenby tries the kick. That's going to be a big chase. Preston's going back there. It's bounced high. Preston gets underneath it and takes it going backwards. Now then, what sort of defensive line has Mark Preston got to come against? Mason just ankle taps him. Jed Bernard got back as well, so he takes the first try, but that kick from Lazenby shows you this power and strength of this wind. And the substitute has come on for Ray Price is Nigel Bell, the number 15. Martin Dermott riding the tackle of Keith Rain. Just a matter of 2 minutes left for play in this first half. And that's the last tackle, so it's going to be a kick from Lydon. Lydon into the wind, keeps it low. That's a test for Chris Perry. But we're going to move up very quickly indeed. It's good defensive line from them. And John Thompson, who's looked strong, can't make any headway this time. So that good strong Wigan defence now is needed in the last couple of minutes. Conway tries to push it wide. Gary Price in the gap. Conway again, the inside ball to Lazenby. Lazenby still manages to get rid of that ball. Perry comes in from the back. There's space out there, but not many players as Perry kicks over. And he shows a clean pair of heels, gets past Preston, but the ball's bounced into touch. Good piece of play from the young Australian. The scrum will form. It's going to be Wigan's ball just inside their own 22. So Wakefield switching the play on several occasions with that inside ball, and then the runner coming off the second man. As Gregory finds Hampson with the dummy. Lazenby, who's defended well all this game, difficult man to get past. Hanley, the shuffle away, and the handoff. And can he get past Kelly? And Linky does so. Byrne in space. Good cover from Wakefield. Byrne steps inside Perry. And Wakefield have got back in numbers now. Mason had got back. And the substitute Nigel Bell. But it's Wigan in possession. Great run from first Ellery Hanley. Then the link to Jed Byrne as Andy Goodway takes it up. Edwards looking for the gap and sees it. Accelerating into it. Rain just managed to cover as the number 6 sensed the opening there, almost getting through. Dermott, a long ball to Gregory. Gregory sidestepping inside. Oh, that's a great burst from the number 7. Conway has got back there. It's now the last tackle. As Gregory struggles to get to his feet. This is the last tackle. Hampson in the line. The little chip through. That's probably gone too far. It's gone dead. It's going to be a tap on the 22. With 2 rugby balls on the pitch, but we're playing only with 1. Thompson takes the drive. We're into any time added on for injury, and there has been some, of course, with the stretching off of Ray Price. Well, that's Gary Price, and that's a good strong run from the second row forward. Wigan not moving up on that left-hand side just then. Wilson almost getting away. Conway setting it up, dictating, but this time can't quite get rid of that ball. Thompson again, the drive, but straight into Andy Goodway, and Andy Platt makes a tackle coming from acting halfback. Lazenby at the back, side steps past Platt, manages to get there and pumps the high ball up. Hampson's there, Lazenby's in, but Hampson takes it well and almost gets away from Lazenby. Links to Byrne. Bit of adventure from Wigan inside their 22. The dummy from Kevin Iro. Byrne supporting from the back. Still pushing off the Wakefield tacklers. We've had almost 2 minutes of extra time in this first half, and Wigan still keeping the ball alive. Perhaps you might think they'd want to hang on to it. Andy Platt slowly gets to his feet. Shelford drifts again across to the right hand side. Edwards taking it one out, linking inside to Ellery Hanley, but he meets a host of Wakefield defenders as the half-time hula goes. A narrow margin of 2 points in Wigan's favour as both teams go off the field. But perhaps the saddest news for Wakefield is concerned is that Ray Price is injured, and he presumably will not take any further part in the game. That's going to be a big loss to him. They've got a mountain to climb in the second half. A very strong wind against them, but that's another 40 minutes time. David Campbell looks to his touch judges, tells Wakefield to stay on side, and Mark Conway gets the second half in motion. We've had some good news from Wakefield fans that in fact Ray Price is not that seriously injured. He was stretching off, but he's back on his feet and he hopes to be on the substitutes bench in the second half. Andy Platt the drive, and if anything the wind seems to have increased. It's certainly in Wigan's favour, and there's Lydon at the back, kicking under pressure and kicking deep, testing Chris Perry. Perry has to go back behind his own line, and Wigan have moved up. This is a test for them now, as Ian Gilnart, the second half substitute, on the field. He's on the field for Adrian Shelford, the number 8. Shelford was injured in a tackle early in the first half. Whether John Money is doing a tactical change, we shall have to wait and see as Wakefield try and move the ball wide inside their own 22. They're trailing by those 2 points. And they're under pressure. The ball's gone over the line. Dennis Betts putting pressure on Chris Perry, along with Ian Gilnart. Conway decides to kick. That's a good kick from the scrum half. Bounce it into touch. Left boot of Mark Conway is just outside the 22. Yeah, the scrum will be down. We'll see the formation. Certainly Ian Gilnart's in the second row. So Andy Goodway, been playing loose forward most of the season, has gone up to the front row. So we've got 2 international second row forwards in the front row. They've certainly both played there before as Lydon tries to sidestep past Andrew Mason. The switch in play. Betts in to Hampson. And Goodway almost bursting through, but that move well spotted. The switch in play from the scrimmage. Byrne on the run around. Tries to get past Lazenby. Evades one tackle but can't evade the second one. It's Gary Price. Halfbacks linking. Betts. The foilers. Hanley bursts through. Good tackle from Kelly as Hanley tries to get on his feet. Roger Bell not really allowing you to play the ball. Gregory dodging and weaving, trying to pierce this defence, but he's lost the ball. Wakefield in possession inside their 22. Lazenby sidestepping first to the right, then to the left. Andy Platt, a good tackle from him. Wakefield, no easy prey for Wigan in this quarter-final game. Conway, the inspiration, with that kicking display in the first half. And there he is again, trying to prompt, trying to put Chris Perry away. Ooh. Perry came inside and felt the full power of Andy Platt. Wide ball to Kelly. Kelly dummies. Edwards tackles him, but the ball got away, and it looks as if it's been lost, and Wigan have gained possession. Joe Lydon it is who's managed to sneak that ball away from Mason. Edwards linking. Betts straightening. Trying to hit the gap. Not many running opportunities for Dennis Betts this afternoon. Certainly Jed Byrne having difficulty to get that ball, and Edwards has switched the direction. Gregory switches it again himself. 2 halfbacks trying to probe a gap, but Wakefield are hanging on. Play just outside their 22. Platt the drive. Now the set move perhaps, as Gregory slots in at number 1. The run around with Edwards, and the wide run from Hanley. Hanley the pass outside, beautifully taken by Byrne. Lydon has picked it up well, manages to stay in play. We're on the last tackle now. Could be a kick through. Edwards at acting halfback. The ball to Gregory. Gregory under pressure from Lazenby. That's a great kick. Wilson comes across and takes it well. Well, that's a great piece of play from the Wakefield right wing. Took that ball under pressure. Nigel Bell drifting away from acting half-back, but he can't make any progress against Hanley's strong tackle. Now Kelly running 2 out this time, gets the ball from Conway, and Kelly, of course, so tall, he can get the ball away in the tackle. Keith Rain juggles but hangs on to it. That's the last one. It's been good, strong Wigan defence that Wakefield can't quite break through. And Conway's on the wrong side for that left boot, so he puts it to Perry, and Perry kicks under pressure. That's going to bounce. It's bounced well. It's bounced well for Philip Eden, but he's tackled and he gets the ball away. Wakefield, the kick through. Kevin Arrow gets back, and he's lost the ball. Preston's there. The ball's gone backwards. Play on to the referee. Good piece of cover from Mark Preston. Andy Goodway gets back there and bursts through. Goodway in full flight. Great run from the second row forward. Philip Eden gets back to make the tackle. So 1 minute, Wigan doing all the attacking, and Wakefield under desperate situation in their own 22, and that kick from Perry caused all sorts of problems. That's back to 1 as Dermot wins it and pushes off Conway. Great run from the hooker, trying to get up and play the ball. Wakefield have got possession, and they move it wide to Lazenby. Mason's got pace, but he has to bring Fox inside, and Wakefield keeping the ball alive once more. That's Platt. Platt trying to lay it off. Gildart makes sure. The play fast and furious here at the moment. Quite a few mistakes. Edwards can't find the gap on the right, has to come back left. Platt decides to hang on to it. So a little bit of disorganisation, perhaps a little bit adventurous, and 1 or 2 mistakes being made. Gildart takes the inside ball on the straightforward drive. Martin Dermot looking for the dummy to the left. Gregory takes it, links, but doesn't, because in fact the pass was cut out by Lazenby as Wakefield moved up very quickly on that side. Now Edwards in position, Edwards with the kick, and that's a fine kick from the 6. That's bounced well. Fox has got back though. Phil Fox, he's got plenty of pace. He's run past Iro, but he can't get past Andy Platt. Great tackle from the number 10. Gary Price rolls off the tackle of Andy Goodway. Dennis Betts hangs on. Wakefield certainly a difficult side to beat. There's plenty of effort out there, plenty of organisation, and in people like Lazenby, plenty of skill as well. Perhaps not as quick as he used to be, but certainly Terry Lazenby, Tracy Lazenby, the number 6. And that ball's bounced into touch. Steve Hampson had no chance of getting that one. But Tracy Lazenby, the former Hull Kingston Rovers loose forward, plenty of ball skills, plenty of distributive skills, fine awareness of where people are, and a key man in this Wakefield organisation. There's one of the key men, Andy Gregory. David Campbell not happy about that. There's certainly plenty of drive from this Wigan scrimmage. David Campbell pointing to the mark and saying that's where it is, that's where I want it. Again the ball out at the back. Jed Byrne drifting across, straightening up. Lazenby's covered well though from 6, drifting across from inside to outside. Edwards dummies. Gildart does the straightforward thing and puts the drive up. The under-21 international. Good solid stuff from him. There's another one, Dennis Betts. Good youngsters in this Wigan pack. Platt takes the drive but also takes 2 tackles. Lazenby got in the way, but that was obstruction. And certainly as Gregory went through, Lazenby deliberately stood in his way. Obstruction, says David Campbell. Joe Lydon calling for the ball. That could well be a chance for a kick at goal for Joe Lydon. Oh, plenty of breeze behind him. Lydon has struck it, but he struck it badly. It's right hand side of the post. It's going to be a drop out from the 22 then. And still the 2-point margin after 10 minutes play in the second half. Wakefield hanging on and occasionally breaking out in defence. Conway, that's a good left-footed drive. And Hampson has left it for Byrne. And Byrne has knocked it into touch by the looks of it. It could well be a Wakefield scrummage. It is, in fact, it's a Wakefield feed. A little bit of misunderstanding there between Steve Hampson and Jed Byrne on that right-hand side. So the Wakefield supporters getting behind their team now. As the ball shoots in the scrum, Conway and Lazenby. Mason linking with Lazenby on the runaround. And Lazenby strong, and he bursts through the high tackle. But Hanley had covered well. Conway distributing. Finds Nigel Bell, but good tackle from Hanley and Ian Gildart. Conway again trying to distribute. Rain gets Perry away. Lydon flies in. Perry gets away from him. But Joe Lydon recovers. Keith Rain hits it up. That's a strong tackle from Andy Platt. Joe Lydon went low and Andy Platt up top. And Rain really felt that one. So the last tackle, the kick from Conway possibly is there at first man. He's under pressure from Martin Dermott. Well, that's drifted into touch. Jed Byrne sensibly allowing the ball to roll over that side. Tap to Wigan. Martin Dermott takes it. Rain went high, but hanging on. Dermott okay. Dennis Betts pushes off one tackle, but good Wakefield defence again. Now the Goodway drive. So 3 good strong runs from Wigan. Let's push the ball to the halfway. Now that was pulled out. That's a penalty. The touch judge on this side has indicated to the referee, and the referee tells the crowd that it was for pulling the ball away after the tackle had been made. It was quite clear. The communication good there between David Campbell and his touch judge. Sean Edwards places the ball. Joe Lydon finds touch. And Wigan once again relentlessly going forward towards the Wakefield 22. Ian Gildar takes that first drive. Mark Preston looks as if he's going to get in the act. Second man shuffling away, but he's lost the ball. He's lost possession. And Nigel Bell has picked it up. Andy Kelly can't get away from Ellery Hanley and Dennis Betts. The two Conways linking. And Gary Price, who's had a good strong game for Wakefield in the second row. Andy Platt coming in well and aggressively from that far side. On his opposite number, John Thompson. Conway misses one man out and finds Kelly. Kelly steps inside and links to Perry. Good support from the fullback from the back. Conway with the left foot. That's been charged down by Gildart. But it's back to one. And Lazenby's taking advantage of it. He's taking advantage of the high tackle from Andy Gregory. Billy Conway driving away. The Wakefield crowd now really exerting their side on. Still Wakefield keep possession. Conway pushes it up high. That'll hang in the wind. That's drifting across. Preston takes it well, but also takes the tackle. But it means Wigan have got possession. That's what they want. And Goodway trying to get past Mason, but Mason builds off a very good tackle on the second row forward. Iro, we haven't seen much of Kevin Iro this second half so far. Full of action in that first half. Plenty of breaks, plenty of strong runs, and a great try. Hanley pushes off Kelly and links with Jed Byrne. Byrne has to come back inside, running across field and straightening up. Can't get any further forward progress as Philip Eden makes the tackle. Lydon decides to kick the side step from Eden. And that is a It may well go too far. It's bouncing away, bouncing over the dead ball line. It's going to be a tap on the 22 for Wakefield. They've had to come back fully 60 yards. And Wigan wanting to keep Wakefield here, push them backwards in defence. Thompson the drive. Conway the distribution again, missing one man out and linking with Keith Rain. But that ball's been lost. And Hanley's picked it up, and Hanley's pushed away. Another two Wakefield players manages to stay in field as Fox hangs on. But offside. It's Billy Conway in the middle of the field as Wigan were about to move it left. Conway offside in the middle, and that's another 10 metres as John Thompson argues. So really Wakefield got themselves to blame there. And it's a chance for 2 points, I think, which Joe Lydon may well take. Touch judges are coming round. Joe Lydon will attempt to kick for goal. So with the support of Gregory, Lydon kicks it, and Lydon kicks it over. We're going to stretch their lead to 4 points. It's 14-10 in their favour. The wind so strong that Lazenby once more has to hold it for Conway. And Conway has found Steve Hampson, and Ian Gildart takes up the running. Good tackle from Nigel Bell. Byrne drifts across the dummy from Steve Hampson on the right hand side. Andy Platt drifts away and then straightens up. So Wigan keeping possession and then wanting probably to pump the ball back downfield. Edwards it is this time with the kick, and Edwards places the ball rather than just belts it. That's pushed superbly to that right hand touchline. Perry's got across there, straightens off the right leg but can't force the gap as Hanley moves up with Ian Gildart. Little chance for Phil Fox on the wing today to show his paces, but Wakefield have been playing well, and there's still 20 minutes left for play in this game. There's still a chance for them. They're 4 points in arrears. Gary Price trying to force the gap. Keith Rain, the captain. The Wakefield have had their 5 tackles. This is the last one. Conway with the kick. That's a change in direction. Edwards back in position, linking well with Gregory. Chance for an overlap. Can't get past Tracy Lazenby. Poor play the ball, but it's well picked up by Kevin Arrow, and Andy Platt takes the drive forward. Goodway on the inside ball this time. So Wigan just 10 metres outside the 22. And Martin Dermott's forced the gap. Good run away from acting half-back from the number 9. Wigan getting closer. Gregory with the dummy, and then the run, and the ball to Hanley, and Hanley's in space, and Hanley's sidestepping and swerving, and Hanley scored! Ellery Hanley scores yet again for Wigan. It was a set move as Gregory dummied inside on 2 occasions and then forcing himself into the gap. There in support was Hanley, a beautifully timed ball from Andy Gregory, and Hanley's strength and power has taken him past Chris Perry. Lydon with the conversion attempt. He's kicked that one right in the middle. 20 points to 10, Wigan leading. Bobby Goulding coming onto the field as a second half substitute for Martin Dermott. Martin Dermott had an injury to the eye in the first half, and Goulding, not for the first time, probably will finish up as hooker. Hanley traps the try scorer, runs it out. Certainly the man for the big occasion, Ellery Hanley. A tremendous performance last year, of course, in the finals at Wembley. Of course, the John Player final as well. And there, right at the end, just producing that try just a few moments ago. Lydon this time with the kick. Conway puts the pressure on, but it's not good enough, and Lydon has put up a massive kick on Chris Perry. It's bounced forward, but it's probably bounced too far. That ball certainly went 3 times as high as the stand. Perry was underneath it, but the ball drifted away. But it's Wakefield back in their own 22, taking the tap. Nigel Bell. Bobby Goulding, who's a youngster, of course, but has given away a penalty, I think, for not being in line. David Campbell is explaining that they weren't in line, and it's Lazenby who decides to take the tap and run it out. And certainly if Wakefield have any chance of perhaps getting back into this game, they've got to get possession and keep it alive to try and break through this Wigan defence. Gary Price driving through. He's had a good strong game, the second row forward. Again, the run around, but Conway decided to change the action. And this is a sort of play which has upset Wigan in the first half, and we've got Andrew Wilson on this right wing, who has got pace, but he's not fast enough to beat Mark Preston. Good tackle from number 5. Gets a pat on the back from Andrew Goodway. Not only was it good defence, but it's also forced the scrummage with Andrew Wilson going to touch. So that means it's going to be a feed by Wigan at the scrum, and almost certain possession. Gregory feeds, and Edwards decides to kick. That's a chase for Preston and Perry. Perry's got back there, and that's certainly not gone dead, so that's a precision kick from Sean Edwards, which has forced Wakefield back from this scrimmage, and they really are trailing Mac now, perhaps a little bit dispirited. Keith Rain, the captain, the number 8, is still not back in play, and we've had the second play of the ball. So that a real testing kick and a fine tactical play by Sean Edwards. David Campbell gets in between Kevin Arrow and John Thompson. The half-back's link, Lazenby with that double jump sidestep from left to right. Conway trying to inspire his colleagues to greater efforts, but they're still inside the 22. It's a good kick from Conway. It's bounced well into touch. Fine placement by the scrum half. And the rain now teeming down here at Bellevue. It's been very windy. The wind perhaps just dropping slightly, but the rain is now the handicap. As Wigan win again, and Byrne runs straight into Lazenby. Good high tackle from the number 6. Joe Lydon with the run around onto Ellery Hanley. Ellery Hanley steps back inside. Certainly no sign of any groin strain from Ellery Hanley today. The wide ball to Iro. Hampson coming into the line, straightening up, burst from the fullback, finds Bobby Goulding in space. Goulding dummying Perry. Will he score? That's a beautiful ball to Edwards. It's Sean Edwards who scores. Sean Edwards, the try scorer, his second try. Delight on his face. Goulding supports him, but it was that beautiful break from Steve Hampson. Steve Hampson flung the ball inside. There was Goulding linking well, sidestepping the fullback, and then up in support comes Sean Edwards once more. And it's Sean Edwards who scores and puts Wigan into a 24-10 lead. Joe Lydon adds the 2 points, 26 points to 10, and with only about 30 minutes left for play. Well, Ian Gildard is coming off the field, and Adrian Shelford back on, so perhaps that's just a tactical ploy. Adrian Shelford waiting for the permission. Ian Gildard coming off. And Adrian Shelford back on the field. John Boney certainly working the changes here as Conway kicks off once more. Good deep kick. Hampson, as ever, takes superbly. This time linked with Dennis Betts. Now, have Wakefield capitulated, or have they got anything left? As Goulding finds Shelford, the fresh face on the field. Rather a slow play the ball. Gregory gets in and Edwards kicks, and this must be soul destroying for Wakefield. That's another kick from Edwards which has pushed them back 50, 60 yards downfield. Edwards, Lydon and Gregory harnessing this wind and using it to full effect with some precision kicking. But Conway will feed the scrum just inside the Wakefield 22. Scrum has collapsed, but Conway managed to get it out. Lazenby not on though. It could be Wigan possession. It is. There's a gap on this side. Hampson strings the long ball. Iro looks for Preston. Preston looks for the line, but Preston has lost the ball, it looks. It's gone forwards, says David Campbell, when it looks as if all Mark Preston had to do was dive over in that corner. Wilson covered across. The tackle's been made. It's going to be a scrum down 5 metres from the Wakefield line, and that perhaps the first mistake that Lazenby has made is his lost possession, which resulted in the overlap on this side. Well, that scrimmage, a particular shambolic affair there. There's almost 12 players collapsed in a heap on the floor. Bobby Goulding in the middle of that, the Great Britain under-21 scrum half and captain, now playing in the middle of the front row. Wakefield win possession. Gary Price drifts across field, tries to straighten up. But Wakefield have been inside their own 22 for most of this second half. When they've broken out, it's been Edwards or Lydon who's kicked them back in there. Conway kicks through and picks up. Good play from the hooker. Shows a lot of skill, does Billy Conway. Now Kelly, but Kelly taking it standing still and has to link and pass the ball. Goulding misses the tackle. Conway almost falls over the referee. And in fact, the referee's pointing to himself. In fact, it was Conway who tripped over the referee's foot. It was probably one of the best tackles of the afternoon, and certainly as far as Wigan are concerned. But very unfortunate as far as Wakefield are concerned. The referee has stopped the clock. There is an injury to Bobby Goulding, so there needs some arrangement. It looks like Andy Goodway's going into the pack. It's Conway to feed, and Lazenby works the switch with Eden, but Wigan just lay off, see what's happening, and then make the tackle. Perry gets in from fullback, and again the linking, this time with Nigel Bell. John Thompson drives forward, and not many occasions in this second half of Wakefield been up to the Wigan 22. Price has to go on his own. The pass was cut out as Hanley moved very quickly up in defence. Kelly takes away himself. But Wakefield very flat-footed. They're playing a bit of touch rugby. Gregory tackles Conway, but Mark Conway kicks, and that's in space for Fox. Has he got over? No. Play on, says the referee. That's going to be a try. No. It should be a penalty. It's certainly a double movement. The referee in exactly the right position. It was certainly should have been a try for Andrew Mason, but he was tackled inches short of the line, and in his desperation tried to put the ball over in a double movement. David Campbell in an excellent position to see that and awards a penalty to Wigan. The referee getting a little bit of stick from the Wakefield supporters, and the ball getting a bit of stick from Joe Lydon as he pumps that ball upfield. Perry has made a mess of it. It's gone backwards, says David Campbell. Perry recovers. Andrew Goodway makes the tackle. And Phil Fox, who was in on the action in that try, or almost that try a moment ago, showing his pace as he moved on to that kick from Conway. With just 6 or 7 minutes left for play, Wigan enjoying that 16-point margin. Kevin Arrow and Mark Preston, a good tackle on John Thompson. Conway in position once again. That's an astute kick from him. Gregory almost getting in Steve Hampson's way, but Hampson recovers well. The ball's flung back and it's gone down again. It's picked up by Nigel Bell. Bell finds Fox in support, and Fox goes over for a try. No, says the referee. We've got to come back another 10 metres. David Campbell in position. The ball was passed forward, and the Wakefield fans really can't believe it's happening. The golden chance there for Phil Fox, but the pass had gone forward. And we have an interloper on the field. The referee is asking him to go off. Somebody obviously disappointed in the decision, wanted to tell the referee. So the play goes on. Handley picks it up at the back, drives away. A little bit of lack of concentration in the Wigan camp over the last few minutes. But there's just 6 minutes left for play, and they need to hang on to go through to the semi-finals. Adrian Shelford drives across. Wakefield Trinity perhaps has certainly missed the motivation of Ray Price in this second half. Gregory decides to kick, and he does so, and he kicks well. It's a beautiful kick down that right hand side. It's bounced into touch on the Wakefield 22. Mark Conway feeds once more. It's Wigan who win possession. With that pass from Byrne to Edwards, just hanging up in the wind slightly and not quite reaching its target. So the chance gone for Wigan, and Conway again will feed the scrummage. And again it's been won by Wigan. No, it's gone straight through, says the referee. So a rare occurrence certainly in rugby league. And that front row of Shelford, Goodway and Platt put in quite a lot of pressure on the Wakefield trio. But that's collapsed. The ball won by Wakefield. Mason lets it bounce. It almost bounces over Fox's head. Byrne moving up very quickly, and the former Lee flyer makes the tackle. Well, the touch judge is on the field there. He's awarding the penalty. The referee has seen it. It looks as if it's been a high tackle. Mason seems to be all right, so Conway will kick the ball into touch. And really conditions at Bellevue now quite difficult indeed. Rain is belting down, the wind driving it across the field, and the ball's getting slippery as Lydon takes advantage. Hanley's there. Hanley rides Eden's tackle and drives away himself. He's so difficult to pull down, is Ellery Hanley. Andy Platt, tireless worker at number 10, drives forward towards the 22. Sean Edwards calls the tune. Gregory switches the play, hangs up in the wind. That's a chip through from Edwards. Chris Perry comes across and collects just in front of his own line, and Preston makes the tackle. So once again, Wigan driving forward and Wakefield having to scurry back. Andrew Wilson in possession. With just over 2 minutes left for play here at Bellevue. Wakefield perhaps given it their best shot, not quite good enough against this strong Wigan side. But again, Conway, who's really had an outstanding game for Wakefield. Well, that's knocked on unfortunately by Andy Goodway. The announcement of the Silk Cup Man of the Match award has gone to Wigan's Sean Edwards. He started the try scoring in the first half, got another in the second half. His kicking in the second half has been exemplary. It's Wakefield winning possession though at the scrum. Can they produce a last minute effort? Perry comes in, Hampson takes his man at the second attempt. Lydon in assistance. Lazenby on to big Andy Kelly. Kelly, who's quick for a big man, pushes off tackles. Certainly seen a tremendous amount of work rate from this second row forward today. As Rain drives forward. The rain comes down as well. Certainly going to be a very wet Wakefield. Gary Price drifting across. Randy Platt goes low and Kevin Arrow comes up the top. Mark Conway can't get away from Andy Gregory. There's Chris Perry, and that's a kick which Hampson takes well, and Hampson bursts through looking for support. Good tackle from Nigel Bell. Andy Platt available and bursting. That's the fitness of this Wigan side, and certainly Andy Platt still going strong after almost 80 minutes play. Gregory sees the gap and finds it and keeps going. Edwards is there. Will this be Edwards' hat-trick? Oh, that's a good tackle from Andrew Wilson. Stop the pass out to the left-hand side. Good way. This is Kevin Arrow. Is Kevin Arrow got the strength to go over? He keeps the ball alive. It's flung back inside. Who's going to go this time? Gregory pushes it wide. It's almost light touch rugby. Betts sidesteps, but he's tackled just 10 metres out. Now Wigan in attack. Gregory prompting, but handling mistimes, and Lazenby strides away. Lazenby almost tackled by Hampson. Kevin Arrow's coming across. That's good distribution to Mason. Mason tries to find support, but Wigan have got back in numbers. So almost a try at one end for Wigan, and Wakefield respond. Conway keeping it alive. Bell onto Gary Price. There's an overlap on this side. Big Andy Kelly driving through. Kelly straightens up, links to Price. Gary Price goes over. Wakefield perhaps deservedly score in an injury time in this second half. It was that fine break from Lazenby first of all, and then after the play the ball just outside the 22. The ball was shifted out to Kelly. Kelly striding forwards and then linking inside to the supporting Gary Price. And it's Price who goes over for a consolation try for Wakefield. So the restart from Joe Lydon, perhaps the last kick of the game. Wakefield running it out. We've played over 2.5 minutes of injury time. The final hooter goes. Wigan have won by 26 points to 14. It's Wigan who go through to the semi-final. Wakefield played well, but not quite good enough on today's performance. With me after the game too, obviously delighted players, Steve Hampson and Kevin Arrow. First, Steve, a hard game, a difficult game, particularly the first half against a very strong win. How do you think Wakefield played anyway?
Wakefield played very well. Obviously they used the wind to their advantage. They kept kicking the ball deep. Luckily enough, I was in position. I knew they had a lot of left footers in the side, so we knew what to watch for. But they put up a very spirited performance, and I was very pleased with them.
Ray Price obviously had quite an effect on the side of the first half, some tremendous defence. Do you think that had quite an effect on them when he went off injured?
Oh, obviously, yeah, with Ray being 35, some of the young lads don't want him to take over their role, so they went out and put up a tremendous show, and they did very well.
But it's Wigan in the semi-final, and possibly a good draw, possibly against the Lancashire club as well.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we won't mind anybody now. It's a neutral ground, so it's not going to be no advantage to anybody. I wouldn't mind witness because we've got a few scores to settle with them, and hopefully we might get them next round.
Kevin, first half, a lot of balls seemed to come your way, and certainly burst through, and a good try. You must have been pleased with your performance in the first half.
Yeah, I knew, playing against the wind that I'd probably get a bit of ball. Second half I didn't get so much, but I knew that we'd be playing the kicking game, so I wasn't really expecting, too much ball in the second half.
And as far as your position is concerned, you've been played on the wing a few times. You're obviously glad to get back in the centre.
I always prefer playing in the centres, but if I'm put on the wing, I enjoy playing out there anyway.
So looking forward to a semi-final place and possibly another go at Wembley. You must have enjoyed the Wembley aura last year.
Yeah, definitely. I think every player in Wigan, wants to get to Wembley again. It'll be a great thrill. Yeah, third time for me.
And you think Wigan, in fact, are the team for the big occasions? I mean, certainly Ellery Hanley today back at loose forward was inspiring, and some very strong performances, particularly in defence.
Yeah, I think Wigan always, rise to the occasion. A lot of professional players there, mixed in with some new up-and-coming young players. So hopefully, big future still.
Any preference yourself for who you'd like to meet in the semi-final? Steve said possibly witness.
Oh, well, I think whoever we draw is going to be a hard game. So I don't personally feel that it matters really.
So nobody to fear. You think Wigan can get there once more to Wembley?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm hoping anyway.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Well, with the semi-final still quite a long way away, it's back to the league, and what a very busy week this will be for Wigan. Wednesday it's Castleford, and then of course next Sunday that great game against Leeds at Headingley. So we'll look forward to going to Weldon Road on Wednesday. See you there.